Hello, taking a look at the new Championship Manager season for, well, this season, 2023-24 season. I've just holidayed a season on the preview save, which was on the forum. It's got every league loaded on it. It took forever. I don't remember the game taking that long to do a season with all the leagues loaded, but I think it's basically got all the leagues loaded on it. So we'll take a little look through some of the leagues. We'll start off in England. Actually, we'll start off in the European competition. So, Champions Cup final was between Napoli and PSG, and PSG won 3-0. Kang In Lee, I don't know who he is, but he got a hat trick. uh, so, Muani. What tactic were PSG playing? 4-1-2-3-1. 4-4-1. I can't even remember what that's called now. Ah, I'm tired. But what about Napoli? Same tactic. Actually, what's his face called? Osman. They signed Ben Yedder. Was Osman injured for the final? Uh, 42 goals and 9 assists, 8.49 average rating. Let's take a look at the earlier rounds. So we got the semi-finals. PSG knocked out Inter. Napoli knocked out Bayern. Quarterfinals, Bayern knocked out Man City. What were Man City playing? 4-1, 4-1. What about Haaland? 66 goals in 53 games. Well, what about Harry Kane? Harry Kane was on the bench for the final. I'm only thinking he could have been unfit. Not so spectacular. They were playing Matthias Tell instead. Strange decision. I can only think that Harry Kane wasn't fully fit because they seem to have played him throughout the rest of the season with only one sub. Real Sociedad knocked out to Napoli. Newcastle got to the quarters. Real Madrid. What about the Europa League or UEFA Cup? Liverpool won it. I suppose to kind of be expected. They knocked out Tottenham in the semis. What about the quarters? Dynamo Zagreb there, Feyenoord, Glasgow Rangers. So let's take a look at the Premier League now. After we go through the leagues, we'll take a look at some of the players as well. So Man City won it by 4 points to Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United. The bottom three as expected. They probably don't actually need to do that much editing with the bottom three. They'll, I know, sorry, Forest probably need buffing. When I clicked when it was holidaying earlier on in the season, I think they'd lost like their first 12 league games or something. Yeah, it was quite a lot before they actually got a win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games and knocked out the League Cup to Bolton. So Sheffield United down there, Luton down there. I think the league table, apart from that, is pretty much as you'd kind of expect. So you've got Man City, then Liverpool, then Arsenal third. You can make a. There is a bit of. It looks like there's a bit of a quality gap between Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City. But Liverpool always seem to be over-egged on these updates. I'm sure there's a Liverpool fan that does the Liverpool team. I bet like Van Dijk should be getting nerfed now. He's 32 and he's not the same Van Dijk of 2 years ago. Even though he's still a very good player, but players like that should be getting slightly nerfed now. I bet Andy Robinson's just like overly cooked as well. Yeah, 18 assists. That's pretty crazy. Um, yeah, I don't think Kanate's that good, to be honest. But I don't know. It's a game of opinions, isn't it? Mo Salah, the only player I ever see just do insanely well in that forward right centre slot. I think they played that. Yeah, he's just incredible on it. on the update tactics. I've actually seen him get more goals than that on the older in the previous seasons. What's Darwin Núñez like? Yeah, he doesn't start that good as attributes, but they just go up the more you play him. I think he starts with about 14 or 15 finishing on the load, but by the end of the season he's fully tanked. So he got 32 goals in 50 games and 10 assists in all competitions. They signed Patrick Bamford. I actually put a little mention on the forums about how Bamford needs a serious nerf. Like, that's the Bamford of like 3-4 years ago when he hit a bit of form. Like, he needs to be nerfed seriously. Yeah, someone commented back that I don't think they're going to touch Bamford, and I was like, well, he shouldn't be getting signed for a top 14. He's not that good anymore. He's like in between Championship and lower end Premier League standard because of injuries and just getting older. He never really met his potential, did he? Man City. Let's take a look at them. We already looked at Haaland. So what's Alvarez like? Yeah, when they used him, he was efficient. What tactic were Man City using? 4-1-4-1. I suppose it kind of changes for game, because if we go back on, let's see if they're playing a crap team at home like Wolves. No, they still play the 4-4-1-1. What about Benfica at home in the Champions League? Same tactic. What tactic were Arsenal playing? Slightly different. So they'll have Odegaard in the hole, Jorginho, Rice. I suppose they kind of rotate, because I saw that either, what's he called? Not Havertz was doing really well there. Yeah, Havertz probably needs nerfing, or his attributes changed, because he isn't that good. But I suppose if they're playing him in the hole, you just don't know. It's hard to say how we do at Arsenal. It's still early. Chelsea, yeah, they need serious buffing. I'm going to put on the forums that Broja needs. It's the second time I ran a season on this, and he was almost averaging a goal a game. I don't know much about Broja, but he isn't that standard of striker yet, or isn't even going to likely be in the next few years. I just get the impression he's not going to get played a lot, and then he'll eventually just get loaned out or sold. Nicholas Jackson, he's got good attributes, but I suppose you that's realistic for his first season. Sterling, all huff and puff, but not a lot of end product now. I suppose that's pretty good. Nkunku looks pretty decent, 5 goals, 10 assists. What were Chelsea playing? They were playing a 5-3-2. Cucurella probably needs nerfing as well, because I think I clicked on him before. Where's Cucurella? Yeah, he's one of their star players as well. Yeah, I think some of these players are going to get nerfed. Like, I even think players like Moses Caicedo, he had one good season at Brighton, and the media will overhype him. He's basically just like a sitting high energy player. It's like years ago, like no one would even bother paying that amount of money for a player like that. But I suppose in terms of how he affects the match engine, I suppose that's pretty okay. 3 goals, 3 assists, makes sense. But if the overall strength and the ability of the players is high, they're always going to be up in the table. So yeah, I think Chelsea need definitely an overhaul. Well, it's still early in the season in real life as well, isn't it? So you just don't know. But Cucurella shouldn't be the star player. That's for sure. What was Richarlison like? Oh my god. Yeah, I think Richarlison might need buffing as well. Nerfing, sorry. So Son, you'd expect him to be good. What were... There was Richarlison done that on the flank. That's incredible. Bentancur, Maddison. What about Maddison? Manchester United. Bruno's not even their star player, Mason Mount is. Yeah, Rashford, they've got about right. It's always, you don't know if Rashford's only going to get 5 goals in the season or 25. Like he's so hit and miss, isn't he? Varane still going well. Sure. Villa now. But Diaby looks really good. I've just got a feeling that Watkins is a bit OP. I suppose they didn't really play him, but I suppose they got him about right actually. They signed Martial from Man United, and they played Martial instead. And they signed Tammy Abraham from Roma. Yeah, I think Tammy Abraham needs nerfing as well. He's not even he's not that good. He won't get back in that Roma team now. They've got Lukaku and what's the little guy called? Dybala. Tillemans. They signed Scott McTominay as well. I suppose the signings are pretty good, apart from the Bamford one. Most of them kind of make sense. Newcastle signed Leroy Sane. I suppose they're going to update the contracts and stuff, so some players are going to be more when that's all edited, because this is only the preview save. Obviously you can still play it and run a season on it, or play it as a normal save, but they've still got a lot of editing to do, I think. Or they kind of said that. I think they do it for feedback anyway. But when you tend to give feedback on the forums, some of them get a bit arsey. Some of the other guys are all right. So, Sven Botman, Tonali, and Brighton. What's Evan Ferguson like? He looks very good. Welbeck. What about Matoma? Where's Matoma? Wow, he gets really good. Who's the defender that's been playing really well for them? I forgot his name. Lewis Dunk. So let's have a look at the player stats. So Darwin Núñez, the highest average rating player, then Haaland, then Rodri, then Kevin De Bruyne, Gabriel Jesus. I did say on the forum about him they should change his attributes more, make him more of like a complete forward instead of he's more of a poacher looking player. Yeah, definitely they need to nerf these two left backs. Not saying that Andrew Robinson isn't a good player, but he's not that good. And it's obviously going to make Liverpool as strong as Man City, which I think if you've read the Premier League 50 times, Liverpool wouldn't win it that often. Not at this point. Not how far Man City are ahead at this moment in time. In terms of just how they play and the squad they've got. Odegaard. What did Odegaard do? 15 goals, 6 assists. Taewo, I can't pronounce his name, but 27 goals, 27 appearances, 14 goals. Tillemans, Van Dijk, Tonali, Foden's there. What other leagues shall we look at? I guess we'll do England, Italy and Spain. Let's see if Bayern Munich won the league. Yeah, they did by quite a bit. You'd expect them to be a little bit more ahead than that. I'm not sure. Harry Kane's a forward on this. He's not a striker, so that makes sense. Still playing Thomas Müller. Dortmund only come 6th. What about Italy? So Napoli won the league, Milan 2nd, Lazio 3rd, Inter down in 7th. Wow. Starting with Arnautovic, who was loaned by Bologna. How did Lautaro Martinez do? 65 goals in 59 games. Wow. Bastoni, Barella. Wow, Barella was really good. Where did Napoli come? Oh no, going blind. What about Osimhen? No wonder they got to the Champions League final, and some of their players are really good. Mobley still going strong at his age. About player stats: Osimhen, Martinez, Kostic for Juventus, Theo Hernandez, Giroud at 37, still getting very high average ratings. What about Spain? Atletico Madrid won the league. Rodrigo Braguelme, eh? How did Griezmann do? They didn't use him that much. Felix is still at Atletico Madrid. I know he was on loan at Barcelona. Morata, decent season. Oh, they got that Fekir, or I don't know, they signed him on the game from Betis. It's all still being used at 35. Memphis to buy, sorry. What about Jude Bellingham at Real Madrid? They come third with Jude Bellingham. 23 goals and 11 assists. Rodrigo, 18 and 10. Vinicius Junior, 19 and 11. What tactic were Real Madrid playing? Ah, interesting. What about the tactic of Barcelona? Who's Avila? Oh, signed from Osasuna. What about Atletico Madrid? What were they playing? 5-3-2. So we've had a little glance in. Oh, let's quickly have a look at the tactics in Italy. So what were Napoli playing? They were playing 4-1-2-2-1. What about Milan? Not many 4-4-2s recently on these updates. 3-1-4-2 from Atalanta. About Juve, 5-3-2. Fiorentina and Inter. What other leagues are worth looking at? Have a quick look in Scotland, I suppose. Rangers and Celtic. Qatari player got signed. Tom Cantwell, Callum McGregor, Lawrence Shankland. Southampton signed him, 3.8 million. What about France? PSG, yeah, runaway winners. How did Muani do? Didn't use him much. About Mbappe, 57 goals, 17 assists. Dembele good but not spectacular. What about this Kang In Lee? I think Monaco certainly need buffing. They're probably going to have a good season this year. They signed Dybala from Roma for 1.6 million. Wow. Oh yeah, it hasn't got the inflated prices on it. It's just got like the base game, so it hasn't got all the add-ons you can add onto the game, where like inflation and stuff. So it makes it more like a 2023 currency in the transfer market. Oh yeah, I didn't actually manage this team. It's just on the actual preview save. It randomly gives you this team to manage. Anyway, I put it on holiday. So how did they do for the season? They got relegated. Do I still have a job? Yeah, I do. What else is worth looking at? Let's have a quick look at Argentina. Estudiantes won it. River only come fifth. I was looking at some of the River players as well. You'd expect them to do a lot better. Lanzini. And they got Solomon Rondon as well. I didn't even realise that. What's so good about Estudiantes then? Do they have some? That Piatti's always good. He's old now, but they got this Jovic on a free. Wait, hang on. Opening stage, closing stage, league. Yeah, it was Estudiantes that won it. What about Boca? Because they've got Cavani now, don't they? He's still going strong at 37. And he's highly rated in real life, this Langoni. What about Brazil? Oh, their league season's not started yet. Holland, I guess. Have a quick look. PSV, Ajax, Feyenoord. Surely Feyenoord need a little buff because they did win the league quite comfortably last season, I think. Did they sign Stings? Oh no, he's actually there. Luke de Jong. Four PSV players, and then Patrick Van Arnhold, who was on loan at PSV from Galatasaray. Lozano. tactic wise? What about Ajax and Feyenoord? What about the lower leagues? Do they start using 4-4-2? Oh, let's go to England Conference. Yeah. Lower down you go, more 4-4-2, I take it. What about in the Championship? So Leeds won it, Sheffield Wednesday came second. QPR, wow. Cardiff. Who's this guy? Mara, Yovin Jones. Free transfer. Algerian international. Wesley Hood. Christian Pedersen. What about Portugal? So it was Porto, Benfica, really tight, only 2 points, and then Sporting, Lisbon, Braga, you'd expect them to be higher up. What do Porto play? 4-4-2, with Fabio Ferreira in the middle. Vieira in the middle, sorry. What about Benfica? Di Maria and Guedes on the flanks. Messer up top. This Swedish striker though, for Sporting, Goiarkes. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but what's Ivan Nilsson like? He's good. Pepe still going? Oh, that's a different Pepe. I thought the other Pepe retired. Alicia, Pedro Concalves, Galano. Yeah, I should have wrote them down while I was doing it, but there was some players I was going to put on the forum because they need like buffing or nerfing. But I think mainly it's I think in terms of the Premier League, Chelsea need to get sorted out. They're not going to be coming top four this season. But you can make a case for Tottenham, Man United, Villa, Newcastle, and Brighton. They could all, those teams there could. You can make a case that they've all got a chance of getting in the top four this season for different reasons. Man United, they'll grind out results like they have done for 2-3 years, like efficient but not very good to watch. Aston Villa, they're a team on the up, not as much on the up as Brighton, but Brighton, like they're in Europe this year and they could rotation could be an issue for them. And just general three games in a week for a smaller club. And Newcastle will probably get stronger as the season goes on, which you would assume, especially when they just thumped Sheffield United 8-0 at the weekend. But anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, it's available to download on the CMO 102 website. It's in the preview 2023-24 section, and yeah, it's just there to kind of get feedback. But obviously, you can play it as it is. It's perfectly fine to play. It'll be quite slow though because it's got every league loaded. But apart from that, it's perfectly fine to play. Anyway, take care. Bye.